Yeah, hi, good afternoon, everyone. So, I have a couple of topics I really want to discuss today. Been planning to do this for quite a while, but the whole transgender movement these days, the whole LGBT, I suppose what's triggered my analysis, my assessment, is what's happened to poor old Andrew Tate. So, probably do a separate video on Andrew Tate. But the whole LGBT has just really gone out of control. Their logic is crazy. Well, not their logic is irrational. They come across as very emotional people, and when you're emotional, you're not making rational points. You're just going based on pure emotion. So, I'm a big admirer of Andrew Tate. I agree with a lot of things he says. Some I disagree with, but a lot of it I do agree with. In terms of what I think, I'm a very honest person. I'll tell you the truth. I don't lie. I'll just tell you what's genuinely on my mind. LGBT, so LGBT stands for lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transsexual. So personally, I don't mind if you're someone who's of the homosexual persuasion, if you're a woman who's attracted to other women, if you're a lesbian, that's fine with me. If you're a gay man, doesn't bother me at all. I've actually had gay men try to chat me up before. Quite amusing. Doesn't bother me at all. What was the other one? Bisexual. Don't really care if you're bisexual. So in life, do whatever makes you happy. So long as you're not hurting anyone, breaking any laws, so long as it's morally justifiable. But in terms of who you want to be in a relationship with, it doesn't bother me. If you look at my channel, a few days ago I interviewed these two female boxers that are in a lesbian relationship, Lauren Price and Karis Artincel. So doesn't bother me. If it did, I wouldn't talk to them. So yeah, I'm not lying. If I had a problem with it, I would say so. I understand there's a lot of people on the planet that do disagree with homosexuality. So I'm not lying. If I was against it, I would just side with the people that are against it, because when it comes to a subject like this, you're going to get criticized no matter what you say. So I believe, what's the point in lying? So listen, I'm not lying. Listen, I'm not going to be rude, but if two people want to have sex behind closed doors, if a man wants to have sex with another man, why the hell would I care? I don't care. I've got my own life. There's billions of people on planet Earth, and I don't really understand people that sort of interfere in other people's love lives. I'm not interested. Do whatever the hell you like. I don't care. It makes no difference to me. I'm not interested. Now, if you take the whole transgender thing, it's not that I'm necessarily interested, I think, but it's just a subject that seems to be getting out of hand. And especially when we get these women that are, not women, people that are born men, they then want to become a woman, which, do whatever you want, I don't really care. But then when they try to control the way you talk, or when they try to say things like, oh, it's okay, I was born a man, it's okay for me to play in sports against women, to me that's not okay. That's not fair. Because you see some of these men who, they lose every single time playing against men, and then they go into the women's sports and they're winning everything. They're getting gold medals. Like, what was the name of that swimmer, Lynn Thomas? Lynn Thomas as a man was rubbish, a lifelong loser. And then Thomas, Lynn Thomas, whatever the name is, I don't know. Lynn Thomas says, "Oh, I want to become I want to become a woman," which is up to him, her. I don't even know what to say. Becomes a woman, entirely that person's choice. Like, I don't even know what gender to use at this point. But then Lynn Thomas, or whatever the name is, starts destroying the women in women's sport, swimming. Starts winning all the competitions. And, the reason I just find that extremely silly, because I'm a 32-year-old man. That's like me saying, obviously I'm trying my best in boxing right now. I'm trying to do different things. But, obviously I have to take on people that are my level or my age. But that's just like me saying, oh, okay, I want to take on 14-year-olds. If it was up to me, I would. Well, no, so I wouldn't. No. Let me rephrase that. I'm talking too quickly. I meant it in the sense, if I was to fight against 14-year-olds, well, that would be very easy for me. I mean, obviously, where I came from just now was in Eritrea. I mean, you see a lot of, obviously, there's a lot of kids in the neighborhoods when I'm walking around. I mean, if I had to fight these sort of kids, well, I'm going to knock them spark out. So I mean it in the sense that for me to fight 14-year-olds, it's going to be very easy for me, but then it's not a fair contest. What 14-year-old kid wants to take on a 32-year-old man? And this is what I'm saying about the whole transgender in sports. Look, I respect everyone. I'm probably going to get accused of being homophobic. I'm not. I don't care what you want to do. I don't care who you want to have sex with. That's entirely your choice. And anyone that knows, I don't go up to people asking about their relationship status. I don't care what people do, in the sense, I don't care who you sleep with or any of that stuff. That's your business. Doesn't bother me in the slightest. It doesn't bother me in the slightest. If it did, I'd say so. But what bothers me is when you're born a man and you've got the strength, the bones, the muscle of a man, for you to then say, okay, I want to become a woman now and take on women, I don't think that's fair. And I'll say I know that's not fair, because as I say, these men, they then, whether they want to put on a wig and put lipstick on, take estrogen pills and all the rest of it, but they seem to consistently be defeating the women with ease. And when you look at women in sports, Serena Williams, Ronda Rousey, these sort of women, you never see them say, oh, I want to play against men. They never say that. So a lot of these idiots, and I'm going to have to use that word, a lot of these idiots saying, oh, it's okay for transgender men to take on women, but you're idiots because you're not the one that has to take them on. That's like someone trying to tell me, oh, okay, it's okay for Michael to, Michael can beat up any 50-year-old man on the planet. I mean, generally, I'm sure, I'm going to explain where I'm going with this. I'm sure I can probably beat up most 50-year-old men. I mean that in a respectful way, but I mean, I'm not going to beat up every single 50-year-old on the planet, say one at a time. Well, I mean, if you take Mike Tyson, how old was Mike Tyson? 52? That's like someone trying to say it's okay for me to go up against Mike Tyson in a fight. I'm not volunteering for that. What, an actual fight? I mean, if the chance came up for me to spar him, for those of you, I mean, depending on who's watching this video, if you don't know what sparring means, in boxing, when you get in the ring with someone in training, you get in the ring, it's called sparring. And generally sparring, it's generally supposed to be controlled. So if the chance came up to me for me to spar Mike Tyson on camera, if he agreed not to knock me out, I'd tell him to his face. If he agreed not to knock me out, I'd tell him, I'd say, like, Mike, I say, Mr. Tyson, please don't knock me out. I know you can do it, just don't do it. If he agreed not to knock me out, it'd be hard to resist. I'd get in the ring with him, and I mean, regardless of whatever happens, a lot of people are going to watch that. I can make money off that video, and it's going to raise my standard of living. But if you ask me to actually have a street fight with Mike Tyson, hell no. Why would I have so my head can hit the pavement? I can end up, so Mike Tyson can end up looking at manslaughter when my head hits the concrete. So, I hope I'm not going off point, or I don't think I am. But I mean it in the sense, you can't just force women to take on these men. That's like trying to force me to, oh yeah, Michael, just go play with a dog. Go play with that pit bull. Or what was the name of the crocodile hunter? Steve Irwin. Oh yeah, go on, Michael. Go play with that crocodile. The crocodile's more scared of you than you are of him. I'm not going anywhere near a crocodile. So, this is. I hope I'm not going off point. I don't think I am. But I think these are good comparisons, because what seems to be the case, you're forcing these genetic women that were born women, you're forcing them to take on men when they absolutely don't want to. You never hear them say, I want to do it. They're forced into it. Like, I'm not trying to take on Mike Tyson. I'm not trying to take on, like, say right now, I'm not going to fight 5 men at the same time. Like, if it came to a street fight, I mean, 5 people's too much. I mean, if they're like 15-year-olds, yeah, I'm sure I could take on 15-year-olds if there's no knives involved. If it's 5-on-1, I'll give it a go. But if you're talking about grown adult men, like Eddie, if I had to fight Eddie Hearn and Kugan Cassius and at the same time, that's too much. I'm not the hardest puncher. The only way I would take on grown men in a street fight, 5-on-1, thing is, but I don't hit very hard. You know what I mean? I'm quick, I've got skills, but I'm not going to knock them out And but by the time I knock them out, someone's gonna come around behind me, hit me in the back of the head, hit me right there, yeah, in the back of the skull. They're gonna hit me with a punch I don't see coming, and from what I'm told, those are the ones that cause the most, the most damage. So that's like trying to tell me, oh yeah, go on, Michael. Yeah, there's a Mexican gang over there, like a Mexican. Obviously, when I say Mexican, I don't mean it in a rude way, but like some of these, what do they call it? M15. Some of these gangs in America. Oh yeah, Michael. Hey, there's a bunch of there's a gang of Bloods over there, Bloods and Crips. Yeah, there's 15 of them. Yeah, go on, Michael. Go beat them up by myself. Do I look like Batman? Yeah, I mean, if it's like one-on-one, I'll fancy my chances. But if you saw that recent video of Tekashi 6ix9ine, yeah, if that was me, I wouldn't. Those guys, they're big guys, the ones that beat him up. I'm not gonna beat them up by myself. One-on-one, yeah, but not all at the same time, because I'm not the hardest puncher. I'm not gonna knock them out. And as I say, if they get you to the ground, it's a wrap. Yeah, I mean that will never be me. You'll never see me in one of those videos. I'm on the ground, I'm getting my head stomped, and hell no. You know what I mean? Because you just use common sense, be rational. I'm a 5'8" man, I'm 11 stone, and I'm not saying I can't fight. Of course I can fight, but not just like 5-6 guys. It's too much to handle, and I hope I'm not going on in too much detail. And this is all I'm trying to say. Alright, let me finish off this video. This is the problem I have with the whole transgender in sports. You're asking women to take on people that are too much for them. It's not a fair competition. It's not fair, and it's ridiculous. And the main thing, the people saying it's okay and let them play, but you're not the one that has to take them on. Go get in the ring with someone that was, say you're a woman, go get in the ring with someone that was born a man. If that's what you willingly want to do, good luck. Let us know how it works out. And the rest of these soft men and it's okay for women to play against transgender men. Okay, so you go play against someone that's bigger than you, stronger than you, fitter than you, all the rest of it. It's not a fair competition. I mean, that's what am I gonna take on Golovkin in a fight? Can I take on forget boxers? Could I take on let me think of someone who's young. LeBron James. Look at the size of LeBron James. Could I take LeBron on in a street fight? He's too big, man. He's too athletic. It doesn't, even though I've obviously got more boxing experience, if it's a straight street fight, I mean, it's just too big and athletic. I mean, if I got into a street fight with that man, obviously I wouldn't do it. See how I knocked out his mum in front of him? The thing going through my head, he's gonna pick me up, smash me to the ground, my head's gonna hit the concrete, and I definitely don't want that. And if I got in a boxing ring with LeBron James, even in a boxing ring, even one-on-one, I still think it's gonna be a hard challenge to take on this guy. The guy's massive. He's like 6'5", 6'6". You see he's longer. How the hell am I gonna get anywhere near him? I wouldn't take him on in a fight. If it's just a little training session and messing around, yeah. But I'm not taking that guy on in an actual fight. For what? So I can get knocked out cold. I've never been knocked out in my life, and I want to keep it that way. 32 years old, never been knocked out. And it's never going to happen because I'm too smart. I think about the situations I get into, and if I was born a woman and they said, do you want to take on someone that was born a man? Hell no. No, this is not a fair situation. It's ridiculous. And I think these women should start boycotting these events. Refuse to take on these guys. Turn it down. It's like someone tried saying to me, what's the most stupid situation I've ever been in? Let me think for a second. I mean, I've been around dogs, obviously. Someone was trying to get me to touch a pit bull once. The dog was chained up. And they were like, oh yeah, go touch the dog. Like, what the hell would I touch the dog for? No, hell no. That dog's vicious. Like, it's pulling at the leash, barking. I'm like, that dog gets his jaws on me, well, that's a wrap. I'm gonna rip my hand off for fun, and then if he can, dog will probably try to kill me. I mean, I see all these pit bull videos where once they get hold of you, these dogs don't like to let go. And this idiot's trying to tell me, oh yeah, just don't worry about the dog. What do you mean, don't worry about the dog? I've seen the Nature Channel. I've seen zebras eating wildebeest alive. I've seen them eating zebras alive. That's what I say. I've seen hyenas eating zebras and wildebeest alive. What kind of nonsense is this? Want me to mess around with a pit bull? I see videos of the police can't even handle dogs. I mean, even the police, multiple police officers can't handle one pit bull. So I think that sums it up. I think the whole LGBT is getting out of control. They won't let you have an opinion, and the whole thing's just getting silly these days. So I think I've said enough. I'll probably do more videos on it, but I've got things that I need to do today. So conversation for another time. Take care, everyone.